Hello everyone, this is Priyadarshini Tiwari. Today I am here to discuss with you the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. The topic for today's discussion is institution of suit. So in today's lecture I will be dealing with the institution of suit, the meaning and definition of the term suit, the essential elements for suit, the presentation of plaint, and the time and place of presentation. Now the institution of suit. In terms of section 26, a suit shall be instituted either by presentation of plaint or in such manner as may be prescribed. Section 26 of the Code of Civil Procedure 1908 and Order 4 of the same code contains the detailed procedure regarding institution of suit. Section 26 Code of Civil Procedure 1908 says that every suit shall be instituted either by presentation of plaint or in other manner prescribed. So the first question which come before us is, what is the meaning of plaint? So let me make clear the meaning of the term plaint. Plaint is the pleading of plaintiff in which he asserts the cause of action and the relief which he is claiming before the honorable court. And every fact of such pleading, such plaint shall be supported by an affidavit. Now the next question before us is, what is the meaning of prescribed? Prescribed here means prescribed under rules, and rules here means the rules contained the rules and the forms contained in first schedule or made under section 122 or section 125. Now the meaning of the term suit. So the term suit is nowhere defined under Code of Civil Procedure 1908, but in the normal sense it means any civil proceeding commenced by presentation of plaint. Although the word which has been used here under section 26 is that every suit shall be commenced by presentation of plaint. So the presentation of plaint is essentially for any proceeding to be treated as suit, but in some situations a proceeding commenced with an application or petition to are treated as suit. Now the essential of suit. The following are the essential element of suit. The first is opposing party. The second is the cause of action. The next is the subject matter and the relief claimed. Now let me make clear what is the meaning of opposite party. It is essential for every suit that in every suit there must be at least one plaintiff and one defendant. However, there may be more than one plaintiff and more than one defendant depending upon the parties involved in the litigation. So, for any civil proceedings, for any civil suit, there must be two parties. One is called plaintiff, by whom the proceeding has been initiated, and the next is defendant, by whom the proceeding is to be defended. So there must be two opposing party. The next is the cause of action. This is very essential for you all to understand the meaning of cause of action. Cause of action means the cause or the set of circumstances which leads up to a suit. The expression cause of action as used in the code means every fact which is necessary for the plaintiff to prove to enable him to get a decree in the suit. In a famous case of Reed versus Brown, it was held that every fact which it would be necessary for the plaintiff to prove, if transferred in order to support his right to the judgment to the court, it does not comprise every place of evidence which is necessary to be proved. Now, everything which is not proved gives the defendant an immediate right to judgment must be in the part of the cause of action. So, in simple language, it can be said that cause of action means the bundle of facts which it is necessary for the plaintiff to prove in order to succeed in the suit. It is also said to be a media upon which the plaintiff asks the court to arrive at a conclusion in his favor. Now, the subject matter. It is the right or the property claimed in the suit which is the subject matter of the suit. Property may be either movable or immovable property. Now, the next is the relief claimed. Every plaint shall state specifically the relief which the plaintiff claims. It may be said that it may be stated in the alternative also. It must be one which the court is able to grant. The nature of the relief or remedy to which a plaintiff is entitled depends upon the nature of his right or his cause of action. Now, it can be understood by the help of one maxim, that is ubi jus ibi remedium. It means where there is right, there is a remedy. The term just here has reference to the cause of action and the term remedium to relief. It means in terms of Order 2, Rule 3, a person entitled to more than one relief in respect of the same cause of action may sue for all or any of such reliefs. But if he omits, except with the leave of the court, to sue for all such reliefs, he will be precluded afterwards from suing for any relief so omitted. Now, the presentation of plaint. A suit begins by presentation of a plaint. It is to be presented in duplicate to the court or such officer as it appoints in that behalf. A suit is instituted when the plaint is presented and not when it is registered. Before a suit is deemed to be instituted, plaintiff must be presented to proper court having jurisdiction. Now, the time and place of presentation. There is nothing in Order 4 to show that the presentation of the plaint must be during office hours, but generally it should be presented during office hours. This order also does not point that the presentation of plaint must be at any particular place. A judge, therefore, may accept a plaint at his residence or at his club after office hour if presented to him at that place. However, a judge is not bound to accept the same after the court hours, but where it is not too inconvenient to the judge, he must accept the plaint if it happens to be the last day of limitation. That's all about institution of suit. Thank you.